of the day, G2 Esports, with the entire desk behind them, versus Moist Esports. And Johnny, it has been the question of the season. You lose Vatira, are you still that team? Moist Esports looking to prove that they are.
Yeah, all the pressure's on Moist right now. G2 on a 2-series win streak in Swiss. Moist on a 2-series loss streak in Swiss. Both of Astral's former card teammates, Nolly and Itachi, have made it into the playoffs already. Astral the last one to make it. And G2 are on a good roll right now. They've really hit their stride today. Taking down Falcons 3-0. That was not a match that many people expected to go G2's way in the venue. I was talking to a lot of pros today about that one. You know, despite the fact that G2 are such a well-respected team, no one thought that they were going to put it together after the disaster they've had earlier in the week. Today, they're playing well.
For those of you joining us for your first attempt at this major, G2 Esports coming in today needed to reverse sweep the Swiss bracket. They've got 2 steps of the way through. 1 more to go, and it has been a stage today, Johnny, where some teams have struggled under the bright lights. Moist Esports taking to the field for the first time. They will want to try and get that first goal as quickly as they possibly can. Here's one of the men to do it. Rise, flicks the ball up. Atomic's already around Astral. Early challenge. Moist are going to want to keep that up, and now a mistake. Rise, backboard follows. Crossbar denies. Joyo's going to keep the play alive. And G2 Esports survived the first scare.
G2 Esports have got to try and keep that clean sheet. Moist lacked goals in their previous matchup against Team Secret. They were just consistently defended against. Really started to cause them problems. Can G2 produce the defense, the likes of which we saw from Team Secret? I don't think they're going to do it the same way stylistically. Team Secret really just waited in goal. I think G2 are going to fight more from the midfield. If anything we've seen from this matchup in the past is a clue to what to expect from this one. So far, a calculated approach from G2 Esports. I think Moist will find it very hard not to doubt themselves if this series starts off badly for them. It almost seemed like an inevitability at that point. The 3 straight losses are coming their way.
And it's unlike the World Championship where we had a lot of best of 7s. You're up against that best of 3. It's 15 minutes of bad Rocket League and you're out. One of the most cutthroat and brutal esports out there. And we would have it absolutely no other way. You have to perform when the bright lights are on you. And so far, we are yet to find our first goal. Moist Esports is quite dominating the possession to start off with. They've had a spell of defense, like to get rid of it off the backboard. Well read by JNaps.
JNaps having a phenomenal day, finishing off so many shots for G2, making so many key touches in defense. So many times recently, it's just been Atomic who's shown up. He needs help. He needs someone else to show up with him in a setting like this. In a 2-2 round, you cannot 1v3. JNaps has been showing up huge for G2 on this same day, earlier on against Falcons. What have Moist got? You know, it's been an equally disciplined performance from them as well. You know, yesterday, maybe a bit careless, maybe not showing Team Secret the respect they deserve. I don't think Moist are under any illusions as to how talented G2 are. They know they're up against a beastly team here. JNaps to the key demo. He's able to air dribble the ball off the back of this one. Reset is his. Shot on target. Rise denies him. Moist hang on. Hold that 0-0 tie.
That was Rise off the demo. Had to come in with a lower amount of boost than he would like to play with. Atomic. Oh, he's been dunked on! Joyo underneath. Moist 1, G2 0.
Joyo with the breakaway. Past Chicago like he's not there. And through Atomic on the goal line. It's a bit worrying for G2. Chicago will be pretty disappointed that he didn't get a touch on the ball there or a touch on Joyo's card. Pretty much any impact there is going to slow him down enough that Atomic can get a follow-up.
Oh, that might be the second. Followed from Astro. Has to come from a weird angle. But prefer not to give G2 speed on the ball. Moist Esports, that'll feel great because that opening 4 minutes felt very similar to the Secret game, but now they're in a tough spot! And they can't keep the ball from going in.
That's a pretty good initial save by Astral, but he wouldn't have had to make that save if he managed to pinch that ball into the defensive corner like he was trying to. He didn't want that to bounce out towards G2 Esports. He wanted to get it into the corner, stall a little bit longer. Acrobatics to keep the ball out of the net, but the position Moist trying to put themselves in. G2's pressure breaking through.
G2's bump game has been out of this world today. It's not mindless chasing when they do it. They love to pick their ball. Well, I'm fairly certain Moist would have liked if that ball was picked out a little bit better towards the top corner. And now one's stuck in the rest side of the field, but for not too long. Astral, one of the best transition players that Rocket League has ever seen. You know when he's got the ball, it's not staying in his side of the field for all that much longer. And now the mistake. Rise with a little bit of time. And JNABS heads up. I'm sure he got over to it with plenty of time on the clock, although Joyo, I don't know if Chicago can get to this just about. It's a race to the ball. And JNABS decides to go for the shoot it so that no one else can.
Well, it's not over just yet. Moist gonna play with this one. Going with the reset. Needs a bit of help here. It will drop down. G2 make it to overtime.
Moist Esports still with that aura around them when it comes to those 0-second plays. And Rise comes up in the clutch.
Rise makes the forward run, collects the boost, and nails the angle shot at the exact same time. G2 Esports defender is simply not reading the corner bounce as quickly as Rise did. You know, they might have missed that 0-second opportunity, and they did not take long to win an OT.
And that is so big for Moist Esports. They're on the board now, they're up and rolling. There will no longer be that fear that they just won't turn up today. Although if there was ever a team, we've gone for this a few times today, Johnny, but if there was ever a team that was gonna see a crowd around them and think, you know what, this is our time, it was gonna be Moist Esports, but G2 gave them a little bit to be afraid of.
Oh, definitely. I mean, G2 had their chances here. Moist had the majority of the opportunities, but I think it was pretty much even for large parts of that game, despite the large shot differential here. G2 didn't look stuck by any means. Yeah, the fact that Rise has scored key goal there, that does not bode well for G2. Rise had a great day one. I think I might even say he was top 3, definitely top 5, maybe top 3 players of day one of this event. It's only yesterday that things completely went wrong for Moist. And that guy on the screen right there, Rise, one of the greatest LAN players in the short time that he's been able to show people what he can do on LAN. Just a step-up performer, put him under more pressure, he continues to thrive, while other players around him are falling apart.
The Moist Esports lost is one where they were stifled in offense, one where they felt like everyone seems to at the moment to KC. This, you get the feeling, is the true test for them. And this will be a lot of the storylines written around them as we head into the break. Get a good performance here and just settle all of the questions surrounding you from the off-season and then focus on the rest of the season coming your way. As for G2, they want to right that wrong. Another World Championship Grand Final. Another World Championship Grand Final lost! And the long road to redemption starts with a goal from Atomic.
Well, JNABS just managed to bounce that one into the center to get it off the back wall. That's the key there. Get it to bounce off the back wall. Don't leave it rolling around the back wall there. Much easier for the defense to deal with. Perfect little snipe there for JNABS, who might have a second here. Indeed, he does. When Moist play the close cheat kickoff, they managed to demo the close cheating player of G2. Look at Ashwell here, snipes Chicago, but JNABS gets back to the ball himself and manages to score before Moist third can get to it.
There's been a lot of times this season so far, Johnny, that we've complained about certain kickoffs, but from that JNABS, that's just brilliant.
Yeah, he
had full awareness and didn't go autopilot.
Yeah, better read. He knew that he could get there. And mistake from Moist third. Thought they could as well. Look at this, G2 up by 3 here. We don't even have time to give them credit for the last kickoff goal. They've done it again. A failed pinch clear by Joyo. And it's another successful passing play from G2 as Atomic offloads to Chicago. They've made the most of the chaos that can often happen after kickoffs occur. 3-0 inside minute 1.
And now Moist are going to have to lean into it even more. They won a couple of freebies. Not going to happen off this kickoff. Good news for Moist is that they've got time to work with across the face of goal. 4 minutes left. Rise on the turn. Just tripped up by Atomic. Back in yet again.
Oh,
Demo
wow.
on one. Rise up half went, just loitered in the area, didn't really want to go. There's the clear, and G2 Esports, if you give them the half volley, are going to get rid of their lines every single time. Double commit, double the chance. Well, double the chance of getting scored on if you're Moist Esports. Greasy, unfortunately, the coaching doesn't work out in this one.
Yeah, Joyo thought that he could get there, but Astral had similar ideas. G2 are just capitalizing on very small margins for error from Moist, either G2 forcing the ball into an awkward position, Moist don't respond correctly, or Moist just make a mistake completely by themselves. Now, I don't think G2 have handled the Moist offense as comfortably as Team Secret did yesterday, but they've also had a much better time going forward. They are scoring, especially in this game, often and easily at times. It's a bit of a mistake there by G2, but they've escaped from conceding yet again.
You think with a 4-goal lead, this is safe, but you scored 4 goals with so much time left on the clock. You don't want to be throwing away them that easily. It was one of the question marks on Moist Esports coming into this event as well. Just how is that rotation clicking? Because there was a lot of times during the regionals, they'd get in each other's way, they'd be a little bit slower on a lot of occasions where you'd expect a Moist Esports player to be available for a pass, available off the backboard. It wasn't quite as prevalent as maybe we've come to expect. The first day, it looked like that was fixed, but just creeping back into their gameplay over the past few. Astral looking to try and inject some life into this game. Fortunately, could have done with an injection of a little bit more boost.
Well, Moist have got as explosive offense as any team when they're firing on all cylinders, but even I think a 4-goal comeback might be beyond even them.
I mean, I think they would like the next documentary video to be about how they got a 4-goal comeback.
As much as you like it, it would be a nice early Christmas present, but G2 are playing, I think, the best Rocket League today they've played all weekend. They really had to pick the right day to play well. It's under the most pressure. They have to win today. They haven't had an option. They haven't had another life to go to. Like we've been talking about throughout the day, if they can just get a win here, clean slate. They'll start off in the quarters just like everybody else, and they make it 5. Well, they don't have to. It's Moist have done it for them. Great work though by Atomic. He outplayed his man. A bit of a panic from the recovering Moist player.
Yeah, Moist just had to try and scramble back, and as you're looking at 94 seconds left, you might as well send everybody. 5-0, 4-0, doesn't make any difference. You're well on your way towards a loss. That is not going to change anytime soon, so we're looking towards Moist Esports. It's a difficult one to analyze here, Johnny, because this one was done, this was over and done with pretty quickly. Can't really make too many judgments on their gameplay style. G2 Esports, we can look towards the improvements that they have had. What's really stood out to you? What's been massively different between them, between day 1 and day 3?
Well, for G2, just looking at how focused they are on stage. Looks like they're completely focused on the task at hand, locked in, trying to counter and read Moist in, follow their every move. Didn't really see that on day 1. Day 1, I was surprised to see G2 look so lost. Looked like they didn't really want to be there at times. But they've managed to turn it around, and that really shows their experience. It shows they've got the ability to go back to practice room, go back to the hotel and just have a talk and say, right guys, it's going wrong, but how do we fix it? And some teams this weekend have just not been able to have that conversation. Moist, far too late to be really thinking about a 5-goal comeback at this point. Do get 1. It is a nice infield pass towards Joyo and sets it up.
Well, the video would be incredible if they managed to get it from here on out. 4 goals, 26 seconds, probably too high of a mountain to climb. We talk about experience an awful lot here, Johnny. Necessarily, sometimes I don't feel like we go too far into what that means, because it's always about how do you perform in front of a crowd. But one of the big things that you've got to get experienced at is taking the defeats on board and bouncing back, because ever since you switched to this format, you've got to be able to take 2 losses and still think to yourself, we can win this tournament.
Yeah.
And you look at the players on G2, they take losses and they know how to compartmentalize it, put it behind them. They're not going to get themselves another one. But for G2 Esports, the big important number is the 1 next to the name in the win column.
You look at the teams who have bounced back this weekend. Gen G suffered an embarrassing defeat at the hands of Oxygen at the end of day one.
To be fair,
they
so
bounced back. Yeah, Oxygen have looked a bit different at times, but you would not expect that from Gen G. I don't think they expect that from themselves, but they bounced back. They went back to the practice room, they talked about it, and they came back stronger. G2 are doing the same thing. They had an even worse start to this event, and they're coming back stronger day by day, just making those small improvements. And now, I think, still the favourites to win this one, given how things have been on a downward trend for Moist. They haven't yet made that bounce back from the losses that they've seen. Space Station Gaming, similarly, you know, looked like they were bouncing back today, but then a bit flat against FaZe. It's about how you respond to things going wrong. That's what experience can do to help you. You know, that's why G2 have been so consistent with this roster regionally and on a world stage.
The phrase I was trying to avoid, but I still can't get away from it, is getting good at losing. Getting good at understanding what that's like and putting that behind you. But for now, it's a skill that you would like to stay very far away from. Game number 3, Moist Esports. Can they put game 2 behind them? It was worth the same amount as the one that they got the win in. The last one was over very quickly. 3 goals within the opening minute. Although we're seeing Joyo try and use some of his best. Rise pops it far side, and it was not on target.
Well, looks like that might have even been an open net as G2 vacated the goal line at the same time with their last 2 players. This might be an open net for JNaps, but he's accidentally missed and doubles it in. Well, he didn't mean to do this. JNaps tried to catch this more cleanly, clipped it a bit late, but the follow-through doubles it in. I think the grins on the G2 side of the screen there tell you all you need to know. That was a happy little accident for JNaps, but that was also an open net. Moist giving it to them. The defense is just not looking the same, absent Vatira.
Big difference between the last game and this one, though, is that Moist did not try to go for a big play off the kickoff. Wanted to just resettle after conceding the first one. A big demo on the backboard. Atomic, can he set? Leaves it for JNaps and Astral. Clears the lines, but only momentarily. Now Chicago. Putting Astral back under pressure. Joyo has missed it. You can see Rise trying to escape some more pressure. Rise does get away. Joyo now on the chase. Moist Esports did score a bit of a consolation goal towards the end of the last one. Still looking for their first relevant one in a while. Rise isn't going to see anything this time around. He's up against Atomic. Will play it to his own back corner.
Well, Moist are just so eager to attack. They're so eager to advance. They are leaving counter-attacking opportunities for G2. Often Moist attacking all on one side of the field. Such a dangerous thing to do against G2 Esports, who love to spread their options left and right. And if you're all on one side of the field, they're just going to switch it to the other. Catch you with a long shot. There's another miss from Joyo. Joyo starting to look a bit shaky here. G2 continue to pile the pressure on. Still 1-0, but Moist look more likely to concede than they do to create scoring chances right now.
Moist, though, when they do have all their players back, you will struggle to find 3 better goal line defenders out there. It's just been when G2 are able to break away, they have been really caught lacking. Oh, and this might be another example. Chicago on the chase. Gets wiped out for his effort. Now Astral! Oh! 1-1!
The speed of Astral. Hardly any angle to work with. Holds power slide in the landing to keep his momentum. And beats 2 players to the punch. What a tie. That's the first shot Moist have had. Took almost half the game to happen. But Astral makes it count.
And it was really a goal out of nothing. Astral reminding his team that they don't always have to be flashy. Rise again. Maybe not for the first time, just second-guessing when he moves forward. Obviously, on some of them, you would want to fake out the goalkeeper, as there's always somebody from G2 trying to find that demo on the goalkeeper on the opposite side. Now JNaps is challenged. Astral will take back over. Not the most confident of touches. This is boost stolen away. JNaps will wait. He's got another chance, and Rise avoids the demo. Now he's got an opportunity opposite side of the field. And Chicago, I love that. Just time wasted a little bit. Now he's got the reinforcements.
Oh dear, that's not the touch Joyo wanted. Well, Joyo's not online yet. Astral's made a massive play there. But this game overall has been pretty inconsistent from Joyo, one of the players who completely blew everyone away with his mechanical ability last season, but at times lacked confidence. Do Moist have the support structure around him to bring the best out of him? Have they got that same belief that they did last season? The same refusal to lose? They kept on fighting, even down in games where there's no time left on the clock, making a name for themselves as the iciest team with the iciest player Rise in the entire world. But that's not really who they've been this season. They don't have that same solid foundation, but here's a chance for Joyo to make a splash, denied by Chicago.
It is still 1-1. Moist have been the team against it. One goal, change the narrative very quickly. Joyo finds the space. Rise was up in support, can't get any extra on it. Astral in, goes straight for net. That was a bit of a test for G2. Needs to make sure they didn't autopilot, but Joyo's too far forward. Joyo is having a really rough time in game number 3. Moist needs to help him out. They've got to get them through it. G2 looking to smash and grab. Got it past one. Off the backboard. Joyo gets out of the way. That's a little bit better. Astral once again trying to transition. G2 back to square one. Rise off the backboard, and JNaps just saw it away with a wave.
Yeah, Moist have just got to get Joyo up front. Just got to get him on the ball. He does not look comfortable as third man, but credit to him. He made a very nice touch off the back of an awkward position. Look at this from Rise.
Astral's gone, by the way.
Yeah, that could be a tricky one. It looks like Astral spawned at the near post. Rise going straight back towards the ball to remove any doubt. Here's Joyo, but comfortably dealt with by JNaps. Composure from the great Canadian. And it's with an unbelievable catch! G2 with a 0-second goal on Moist.
Clip it, ship it, love it! G2 Esports! Wow! What a way to end the series, or at least end that game, but G2, that might have just stole the soul from Moist.
It would have been a good way to end the series, but wow, what a goal by Atomic. JNaps did so well.
They've got plenty to cheer about right now.
I hope they were able to see that goal from underneath that flag. That was a beauty. Atomic.
Imagine trying to be the person describing it to the one that didn't.
Let's go. That's our job, Sugar. Well, let's try our best. He somehow...
Hopefully we were loud enough, because I know this arena was.
I don't know how he did it. I mean, Astral scored an absolute banger in this game as well, but this absolutely stole the show from Atomic. How on earth has he managed to keep the ball off the ground?
Look at Staffy!
He's got JNaps standing up. I don't think Chicago wanted to stand up and reveal his socks to everybody again. He's gone sock meta again today, just to spoil it for you guys. But, wow. Atomic just pulls out an unbelievable goal. And it was after Moist seemed to be pulling themselves back into it. Astral started to pop off. Rise had a late opportunity. And oh man, you know, Joyo might have had a bit of a shaky game, but there is nobody in the world stopping that one. Atomic snipes it with no time left.
He sold it so well. I'm gonna hit it, I'm gonna hit it, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it a lot later than you ever expected me to. Moist Esports, we were talking about the bounce back. They need to do it now. A 5-1 loss, a 0-second loss. If you ever wanted to prove that you've got the resolve to play at this high level, this is the time to do it, to send us to Champions Field. Rise pre-jumping.
Okay.
I don't really mind that at the moment. They need a talisman to step up.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, that's been the meta that's succeeded for teams like Oxygen, who are dominating everybody.
That's not
they play
we need
against.
to rename what Oxygen have been doing. That's way earlier than a pre-jump.
You know, they need something here. Moist have to step it up. You know, 5-1 loss. Just looking a bit confused defensively, and in game 3, Joyo just lacked so much confidence. It's been a consistent problem for so many teams this weekend. His confidence at levels far lower than we're used to seeing. Can he settle himself? No, not with Atomic getting in the way of him, just charging back towards the ball, giving his goalie a little bit of help. Atomic making plays at both sides of the field.
Oh, that's going to drop dangerously unless Joyo can do exactly what he did. Called back into action to get a second touch. Now needs Rise to take over. Rise did have Astral just below him. G2 have done a very good job as well of only playing what Moist are actually up to. Get a few teams that like to try and cover multiple options. You end up losing 2 players for 1 if you do that. Oh, what a redirect. Can Astral get there? No, he cannot. And G2 well on their way to the playoffs.
the positioning from Atomic, just able to beat Joyo to the ball. But if you notice, when Joyo was flying into the screen there, he was quite a bit side onto that one. That means he's flown off in the wrong direction, and he's having to use a lot of boost to correct the angle that he's flying towards. And that slows you down. So Atomic just faster, flying straight and through. Joyo a bit sideways. I mean, he's actually calmed himself down quite well here. Hasn't made any defensive misses, but he has been beaten to the ball there. Atomic continuing to dominate.
Joyo back down. Boosted the challenge. Chicago boostless. Doesn't matter. Where's the follow? Joyo. First player to it. G2 don't need to take the risks anymore. That is going to be up to Moist Esports. Now Rise with Astral midfield. It's going to be a rough ball to play with. Couldn't make anything of it. Atomic does clear. Astral back to himself. That's a brilliant first touch. Press take on another one, but the second one did kind of let him down. Now looking for the goalkeeper. Infield, and Joyo chooses not to head after that one.
Yeah, Atomic had his eye on that infield pass. You can see it coming a mile away. Joyo's actually trying to hit Atomic with a taste of his own medicine. Beats him to the ball in a similar position, and Atomic scored the first goal. But the difference is, G2 had a man back, and that's something Moist have not been able to say on a lot of the hard clears today. They just haven't had that defensive ability. It really does look like they're missing that third man a lot of the time. Joyo's been trying to do it, doesn't look comfortable. Astral trying to make more of an impact up front. Rise as well, trying to make offensive plays happen. I really think it should be just Joyo in that spot. That's where he's able to shine. He's never been known as a defensive player. He does make plays. You have to make plays in every position in Rocket League, but Joyo's an attacking player at heart. That's who he wants to be. That's when he's always going to play at his best. Rise and Astral are so eager to make plays happen that I don't think Joyo's been comfortable in this matchup.
Astral's got a bit of time this time as JNAP comfortably sees it away. Just shut down the angles from him, although a good challenge win. Moist just have not been able to get the midfield battle to go their way. Whenever there's a 50-50, G2 tend to be the ones not only coming out on top, they do have the follow-up as well. Joyo now against Atomic. That's a little bit better. Can he keep it going? Chicago waits off. Look at the recoveries from Chicago. There was no way past him. Minute left. Oh! Underneath!
Ice cold. Astral fakes out both Atomic and JNAPs. And that was pretty convincing. You know, in these positions, you've always got to say, why didn't one of you go to the ball? G2, you had two players. Somebody's got to ignore Astral and hit the ball, but that was a pretty good fake. Astral once again with the tie.
You have to make them panic, but the communication can't be done in time. And Moist, for the first time, made G2 panic. JNAP clears. Wants to go to net. Joyo takes over immediately. Sees Chicago. This is where Moist have struggled the most. Getting out of these positions. Look towards the boost amount. They have got enough to work with for now. G2 will pick away at them. See Astral avoids everybody. And Astral, he's starting to heat up. Now they've got the shot. And Chicago, again, the one in the way.
I mean, Astral's just done everything this game. That was such a good dodge on the incoming demo. Look at him go past another one again, but he's only managed to get as far as JNAPs, who's air dribbling now. Can G2 hit them again on 0 seconds?
Look at all the demo attempts that G2 have gone for. And now off the backboard, Astral does have Joy on the fast side. Would rather see overtime.
Yeah, they went for the ground on that one. That was not an attempt to keep up. Kickoff goes Moist way. Rise past one. 50s into Joyo. He's 1v1 and scores! Bounce back game for Joyo. He had a rough one in game 3, but he scores the winner to send it to the ace match.
What does teammates say? There are levels. G2 showed theirs earlier on. Moist proving that they can match them. And Moist Esports do not like Well, people have been talking about them. You want to change it? You go to Champions Field. You eliminate the World Championship Grand Finalist. And with Astral playing the way he is, there is no doubt that they can possibly do it. But for G2, they have been so consistent, despite the fact that they've got 2 losses to their name. I genuinely have no complaints.
Yeah, well, I mean, at that time, you just got to say, well played.
But there's your complaint right there. You're playing against Astral.
Astral just completely outplayed them for the equalizer for the 2nd game in a row, and this time Rise was able to masterfully control a 50-50. He knew Joyo was behind him, and he completely nullified G2's attempt to clear the ball to the corner, brought Joyo the ball, and Joyo nailed the 1v1.
Welcome to Champions Field. 1 spot in our playoffs remaining. 1 team from South America, 3 teams from North America and Europe. Which of the regions will add the 4th? About to find out, and again, G2, they are unrelenting. They are adamant that they will get rid of your car by any means necessary. Astral off the backboard, Atomic happy to see it off.
Oh, look at Joyo now. There's a lot more spring to his step. He looks confident.
I think Astral's confident.
Yeah, Astral certainly, you know, is the ability to bounce back from games like Game 3, where Joyo just whiffed about 3 balls in a row and didn't look himself, and now he does. It's been the story of the tournament for many teams, G2 included. Joyo, even doing it in the middle of a series, on stage, that shows championship quality.
In field, Chicago!
Oh!
1-0!
I think Moisture attempted to clear this across their own box. Rise was the first one to it, but he hits it out into the middle. He was trying to get that much closer to the goal, but of course, afraid to hit it too close to the goal, understandably. You've got to go a bit closer than that. G2, known for their interceptions, obviously going to cover an angle like that one. They do lead again.
Right. Leaves it for Joyo. Challenge and Price. Just arrived a little bit too early. Put it with the wrong side of his car. Rise yet again, moving on in. Starting to feed off the energy that Astral has given them on the field. Now Astral moves for it. Passes it for Joyo!
They're not making it easy, but they're making it happen. Wonderful vision from Astral. Joyo there for the finish, but it's the pressure from Moist. They're back at their best in offense. They're swarming their opponents. G2 were not able to survive with the boost they had.
All right. Looks that little bit more elevated. He's upped his level of game. Can G2 hold them off? Can they get the second? Oh. Well, just for a moment. Looked like they were going to go ahead yet again, and now they still might. Off the backboard, crucial touch from Joyo. Gets another challenge, just back over. Wow. That one won't test them. Astral aware of it. This is what he does so well. G2 positioned immaculately though, makes sure somebody gets rid of him, and now Astral again has to avoid being hit.
Oh,
Getting a little bit used to that tactic.
Well, a couple of mistakes from both teams. Chicago missing the net with an uncontested shot, now a missed clear attempt, but hold that thought, Astral might be through here. Indeed he is! Well, Moist might not look bulletproof in defense, but Astral cannot be stopped. Just delays his shot enough for Chicago to miss his touch and puts Moist in front.
Before there was Vatira, we went to Madrid, and it was that man right there, Astral, that was considered the world beater. Can he do it? He's had a star-making performance, reminding everybody of who he is, but now his team is on the counter-attack. They're up against a good play. There's the pass, block, and that's gonna go wide. Astral recovers the ball.
Yeah, great work from Rise there. Deflecting the ball safely to the back corner. That's the key for Moist, just controlling in defense, because they've not looked comfortable in defense pretty much at any point in this series, making mistakes in every game, but their offense has been out of this world. And G2 are still just waiting for that opportunity, waiting for that mistake. They've got some time to work with here. Moist have definitely leveled up. G2 Struggling to keep up with the pace. Here's a chance for Atomic. Drops down well for them, and it's in! JNAPS! First to it.
Just too strong. Atomic sets up the challenge. And G2 have had that belief. If there's any way you can describe the way they played it, it has been belief. Happy to leave one player back, go for demos. Now Joyo does get possession on the ball. Gonna be difficult. He was on low boost, but he still has set up his team well. Now the breakaway, it will be Astral against JNAPS. The reinforcements on their way in, and Astral, does he need reinforcements? Takes on Atomic! What? Breaks him! By 3! G2 2! 90 seconds on the clock!
How? Just how? Astral bulldozed Atomic on that play. I mean, what on earth is this car made of?
Read the nameplate, and you'll figure out how. Astral has been that guy. Now Rise to try and add to it. Decided to try and dunk on top of Atomic.
That's who.
Didn't get set up for it. Oh, there's no way. Trying to set up for the dunk, not gonna happen.
Well, G2 played this one out pretty well, but it's getting desperate now. That's a great pass. The shot's there, but Astral's there to block it. A minute to go. G2, minefield, but the shot is wide. JNAPS does not answer the call.
We saw these two teams playing slightly different names at the time. Back over at the LA Major.
Oh my!
It's the difference! This is the one that was not at the LA Major. Question the move now.
Too good. Just too much firepower. They'll definitely be thinking about how to shore up their defensive weaknesses, but this offense works wonders. What have G2 got left? 35 seconds. Mind game from JNAPS. That's another good 50 in front of net. It's how they scored their second goal this time. Moist clear.
And G2, for long stretches, the better team of this series. But it's been Astral, the talisman. Now Joyo looks to try and add another one to it. He'd love to get the brace. Astral in yet again. 10 seconds. G2 might be out of ideas.
And this is it now. Anything but a miracle for G2. It's not gonna happen. Astral is simply different. We wondered, could they do it without Matira? Astral says yes. Matira called the best in the world by many. But listen, Astral might have been the best player today. That was unreal.